Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Wednesday evening, we are halfway through the week, and I am quite proud of myself. Poor Mandy is still off not well, so I've been in the office mainly myself, and I haven't killed anyone yet. Quite having a smug about that. I have growled a couple of times, let's be honest. Thankfully, the people who I speak to on the phone every day know me and know how to deal with growling. Because I'm not really growling at them, I'm just growling at the stupidity of computers. So, do you know, but that's not bad on average for being on my own all week so far, that I only started growling today. I'm quite pleased with that. So, the other reason I'm here today is I had a thought. So I thought I would put it out there. With all the things about the supply chain issues and farmers and costs increasing and shipping increasing and stuff and things, I sat there, I was having a thought last night. I was like, right, I need to order my cat litter, so it's on my as to order, my cat litter. See, you proud of me, Alan? There you go. So cat litter has been ordered, and I thought, right, there's all these people saying we're going to struggle to get things from Europe where we normally get things that are grown sunnier climes than here in the UK. I thought, right, what are you looking to store? What do you use? Because when I first started prepping, I tried everything, and there's a lot of stuff I still haven't used. So, like, I sliced and dried tomatoes, they're still there 2 years later, they're getting binned. No point, I don't use them, so let's not bother. Like chopped tomatoes and stuff, yes, I use that, but dried sliced tomatoes, it just doesn't. I'm much better canning squished tomatoes for sauce. So that was one thing. We know not to do that. However, peppers I quite like. I quite like them in stir fries. I quite like them in my tuna pasta salad. I quite like them in my bolognese. I quite like them in a lot of things. And peppers come from sunnier climes than here. So peppers might be a bit of a problem. So I'm thinking, because I have some chopped peppers in the freezer, just basically raw peppers that I chopped up. And I was like, I should get more of them and just have a time of processing peppers. And that let's chop them up, put some in the freezer, but also dehydrate some because that will stay longer and doesn't require power. So I was quite smug about that thought. And I was like, right, so that's one thing. Broccoli, not really, don't really eat it. I mean, I do. If I make broccoli and sauce, I do eat it. If I make cauliflower and sauce, I do eat it. But I could have that in the freezer forever. So that is not something that I need to worry about. Onions, as you saw, I go through a lot of them, so I'm dehydrating onions. But I don't think that's particularly going to be a problem here in the UK. Things like lettuce, I mean, you just can't store that, so you need to learn to grow that in the garden. Thankfully, I'm not a big lettuce hand. So there's all these little things that it's like, what do you actually eat? And I don't mean what have you got a bag of in the back of your freezer that you use once in a blue moon. What do you actually eat a lot of? And how can you process it to save it? Now, for me, as I say, onions, mushrooms, I've dehydrated them, I've frozen them. Fruit I've made into jam, things like that. And then I'm thinking, right, we need to learn to make our own noodles, which thankfully I have the pasta machine that I can make noodles and pasta with. So I need to learn to do that. That's not going to happen anytime just right immediately because time is of the essence when I have 2 days off. That's more a when I have more than 2 days off kind of thing. So that's definitely something I want to think of. Because I do I really like noodles. So I need to learn to make my egg noodles because that's a good thing. I've got Mylar bags there for storing dried stuff, and I'm thinking I got milk, powdered milk, when I first started prepping. I haven't used it, and I'm thinking I need to put that in Mylar bags before it gets much older, before it sort of runs out of date. possibly run out of date already, but if it's still okay, then I'm just going to put it in Mylar bags and keep it that way. So yeah, it's like, what do you actually use? What would be a problem that you know comes over from Europe or other parts of the world now with the Red Sea thing? And is there a way that you can start to prepare for what may be shortages? And I don't think that it's going to be like, oh my goodness, we'll never get that again. But I do think that prices are going to go up. And I do think some things may be a bit more difficult to get than others. So yeah, that's my kind of thing today. And that's what I'll be doing tonight, is sitting with my wee planner, making a list of things like the peppers. I don't really know what other fresh stuff I eat a lot of, apart from onions and mushrooms. I really need to expand my palate, really. But yeah, and basically, apart from the things of what do you eat, what are you prepared to eat that is easy to process? Because if it turns out that there are some things that are difficult to get, what is an alternative that, if it's easy to process and store, you could have for just in cases? See, that's my other thought. So there you go. So now I am going to go and settle down in front of the fire, probably half fall asleep. If you noticed, I'm not yawning because I wasn't sitting in front of the fire for any length of time. See, I'm getting wise to this. So yeah, I'm going to go and make myself something to eat, get a cup of tea, and make a list. Catch you later.